Let's talk about home equity. Who's it for? Who would you recommend does this?
Well, so we have to think it's beyond people who just bought in the last 4 years, right? I mean, home values started to increase in Jacksonville around 2011, 2012. And so if you bought a home anywhere, geez, in the last 10, 15 years, you likely have a significant amount of equity, even those who bought just a year ago or 2 years ago.
Really, you think within 2 years might be enough?
Yeah, I do, because home values went up 15, 20% for 2 straight years in Jacksonville.
So who is it for then?
So it's for anybody who owns a primary home. A very common question is, can you get home equity lines of credit on investment properties? The simple answer is no. It is extremely difficult to find home equity lines of credit on investment properties ever since the Great Recession. Prior to the Great Recession, it was a thing. So we hope at some point that it will be done responsibly, and that will open up for home equity lines of credit on investment properties. But simple answer is no. Mm-hmm. But here's something else that you all might be thinking, or you might say, well, listen, I don't own my primary residence. Maybe this isn't for me. We, as an economy now, collectively, we have more home equity now than we've had in a long time, right? With the type of gains that we've had in pretty much every city in the country. And so when you're thinking about how you can get started, if you're saying that money is the problem, I just flat out really don't believe that. Because if you look either in your primary home that you have or in your network, it is really likely that somebody that loves you and that wants you to be successful and that may even have an interest in investing with you alongside you owns a home. And so you can look to home equity lines of credit, which is a way of tapping into your home equity that has been built up between you and between your network. And you probably can take that money excuse off the table if that's what's been holding you back.
Your retirement account, you see. So, who is this for?
Well, this is for anybody that has funds in a retirement account. It could be company 401k. It could be your IRAs, your solo 401ks, your 403bs, any of these other acronyms of different retirement accounts. If you have self-directed IRA already, which we can kind of talk about what the difference is there, any type of retirement account, that is money. Those are tools, again, that can help you decrease risk, diversify, and increase your passive income when you need it. Many people aren't aware that you can invest from your retirement accounts in real estate. You absolutely can. I have done this. Hundreds and hundreds of our clients do it right now. And so it's another tool that can be used.
Okay, great. So basically anybody, right? When I think about it, I think of you've switched jobs a couple of times. You probably have an old 401k somewhere that you translated into an IRA or not, right? That's kind of like ripe for all that stuff.
Sure.
Or if you're an entrepreneur, you have this stuff. There are people that are like actively employed and have a 401k. Is that available to them too? Like inside like a company 401k?
You're gonna love this answer. Yes and no. Okay. So when you are employed and you have a 401k with that employer, it's going to be very rare for you to be able to use that company sponsored 401k plan to invest in rental properties or private lending or anything outside of the stock market. So, but here's the thing, many people aren't aware of this. And again, this is what I do as well. The company 401k that we have here at JWB does not allow me or anybody to invest in real estate directly. Shocker, right? Yep. It's unfortunate, but it's really, 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 really rare that there's a company sponsored plan that allows you to do that. But what I do, and the way that you can use your company 401k to find capital to be able to invest, is that you can take a loan against your 401k. And so for me, right, I'm allowed to borrow up to 50% of the value of my 401k. And it's a loan from GREGG's 401k to GREGG the individual. And so GREGG's 401k lends 50% of the value of my 401k. GREGG the individual repays GREGG's IRA every single paycheck that I get. And I, as an individual, I'm receiving a lump sum of capital that I can do what I want to do with. I can make an investment, right? Hopefully you're doing things like that versus going and spending on things that don't make sense. But you have the ability to use this capital now, and it is not restricted like your company 401k assets are while they're in the company 401k plan.
Got it. I know that this is how you got started,
Yeah.
right? Tell me, who is the partnerships? Who is this for?
I mean, I think anybody can do this. There was nothing about me at 23 years old that said that I was more likely or destined for success with a partnership or anything in real estate than anybody else. You know, I wanted to create a situation where somebody else could benefit and I could benefit, and I could start my real estate journey early on because I learned the power of investing in this asset class as early as possible. The compounding effects of this asset class are what makes it great. So I became, really passionate about how could I create a win-win for somebody else so that I could get these assets in my portfolio in my 20s. And anybody can do this.
Is this something that generally works more for active investors and passive investors?
I mean, generally, I would say the application is more for active investors than for passive investors. You see a lot of people partnering up to be able to go and flip houses and things like that. So I would say it's more common, but there's nothing about it that has to be for active investors versus passive investors. And I would think the benefits long-term are even greater for you as a passive investor to get these assets in your portfolio and to, and create a win-win situation. Because again, this is not you just taking money from somebody else to buy a rental property. You're creating a better situation than they have for the money. Like an example, right now, a lot of people have money in the stock market and they're really scared. And, the data suggests that there's going to be some more pain to happen in the stock market. Pain in the stock market means that values are going down. Capital will be lost. If you can create a scenario where you can partner up with somebody, they can provide the capital that would have been in the stock market, which they may believe that there's a chance that would have gone down in value. Not only are you benefiting from being able to acquire an asset and put it into your portfolio now, but you're also benefiting them because they didn't lose the money in another portfolio. Like when I started, the first person I partnered up with was my dad. And when I found my first real estate property, I think the thing that you should do is go to your cell phone and look and see, okay, who are the people that know, love, and trust you? And who are the people that are invested in your success? And if you find any of those people who also have had conversations in real estate with you, like that's a great person to go and talk to. And, for me, that was my first person. I thought it was my dad. Yep. Checked all those boxes. Yep. And, at that time, stock market, it wasn't in the place that it's in now. Yeah. So when I went to my dad and I said, hey, listen, Dad, you've got this amount of capital. It's in the stock market right now. If you let me borrow this money and I'm able to buy this, it was a condo in Jacksonville Beach. I said, I'll pay you an interest rate that's higher than what you're likely going to earn with that money that you were going to earn in the stock market. And so, the reality is my dad did it because he loves me and he wanted me to be successful and he wanted to be the one to give me my first break. And so you'll have some of those people in your cell phone who just meet that criteria. And then, he wasn't doing it to make money, but I wanted to create a situation where it also made sense for him from a return perspective. And I bet for many of you who are listening to this right now, again, if you go through your cell phone, look to those people that know, love, and trust you, that are investing in your success, and that have had some conversation about real estate, you're going to find somebody who checks that box.
That makes sense.